A half century ago, back to 1975, the music was incredible. Let's take a nostalgic journey back to these incredible songs and the stories behind them. If you were there, you remember the energy, the passion, and maybe even where you were when you first heard them. Let's get started with Get Down Tonight by KC and the Sunshine Band. It emerged from the vibrant Miami music scene, where Harry Wayne Casey, KC, and Richard Finch first crossed paths while working at TK Records. What many don't know is that KC initially struggled to get airplay because several radio stations thought their sound was too black for their mainstream audiences. The band fought against this prejudice, eventually breaking through with their irresistible fusion of funk, R&B, and disco. Today, KC continues to perform and influence modern artists, though the band's relationship with Richard Finch ended on a sour note after legal disputes in the 2000s. KC has been vocal about the music industry's evolution, often criticizing modern production techniques and arguing that today's dance music lacks the organic feel of the 70s. The band's influence can be heard in countless contemporary hits, though KC himself rarely gets the credit he deserves. Here's something that might surprise you. KC couldn't dance when the band first started. Despite fronting one of the most successful dance bands of the era, he had to take intensive dance lessons to keep up with his own music. The producers actually sped up Get Down Tonight during recording, making KC's vocals higher and creating that distinctive sound. Paul Anka and Odia Coates brought us One Man Woman, One Woman Man, a duet that challenged the free love movement of the 1970s. Anka, who had already been a teen idol in the late 50s, was making a comeback, while Coates was a gospel singer he discovered performing in a California church. Their partnership was controversial, as some questioned whether their on-stage chemistry was purely professional, despite both being married to other people. Sadly, Odia Coates passed away in 1991 after battling breast cancer, while Anka continues to perform and write music. He's become one of the most successful songwriters in history, though he's been criticized for his controlling management style and perfectionist tendencies. In recent years, he's spoken candidly about the dark side of fame and the price of success in the music industry. The song was actually written in response to the rising divorce rate in America, with Anka hoping to create a counter-message to the era's increasing relationship instability. The original version was nearly twice as long, with additional verses that were cut for radio play. Joe Cocker's You Are So Beautiful showcases one of rock's most distinctive voices. Cocker, who started singing in Sheffield pubs at the age of 12, was known for his spasmodic stage movements, which led to cruel mockery and even suggestions that he was having seizures on stage. In reality, these movements were nothing more than a physical manifestation of his deep connection to the music. Since Cocker's passing in 2014, music historians have begun revealing the true extent of his influence on rock music. His raw, emotional style inspired countless singers, though his battles with alcohol and drugs often overshadowed his musical achievements. Even after achieving sobriety in the 1980s, he struggled with the music industry's focus on image over substance. Did you know that You Are So Beautiful wasn't actually written by Cocker? Billy Preston and Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys wrote the song, though Preston never pursued royalties for his contribution. The song was recorded in just one take, with Cocker claiming he couldn't replicate the emotional intensity in subsequent attempts. Hey, if these memories are bringing back your own stories from 1975, we'd love to hear them in the comments below. Share your favorite moment with these songs and hit that like button if you remember dancing to them. And subscribe to catch more musical memories. Now, let's keep this journey going. Bad Company's Feel Like Making Love. Feel like making love. Emerged from the ashes of Free and Mott the Hoople, with Paul Rodgers and Simon Kirke forming the band in 1973. They faced initial resistance from critics who accused them of abandoning their blues rock roots for a more commercial sound. The band's name came from a Victorian-era book about an African diamond mining company, though many religious groups protested against it. After multiple breakups and reunions, the band's legacy continues to evolve. Paul Rodgers has been particularly outspoken about the state of modern rock music, arguing that digital production has stripped away the human element that made 70s rock special. The band's influence can be heard in countless hard rock and metal bands, though they've never received the same critical acclaim as their contemporaries. The recording of Feel Like Making Love was actually interrupted by a power outage, and the band had to finish it by candlelight. They kept this version because they felt the darkness added to the song's intimate atmosphere. Orleans brought us Dance With Me, though few know that the band formed as a folk rock outfit in Woodstock, New York. Dance with me. Their transition to a more commercial sound caused internal tensions, with some members feeling they were selling out their artistic principles. The band's formation was actually a direct result of the Vietnam War, as several members met while organizing anti-war protests. The band continues to perform today, though with numerous lineup changes. They've been vocal critics of streaming services and digital distribution, arguing that these platforms have devalued music. Their story includes tragic chapters, including the death of lead singer Larry Hoppen in 2012. But they persevered, maintaining their commitment to live performance and musical authenticity. The original demo of Dance With Me was recorded at half speed and then sped up, giving it a unique sound that the band couldn't initially replicate in live performances. They had to spend weeks practicing to match the recorded version's tempo. Average White Band crashed into the scene with Cut the Cake. Cut the cake, give me a little piece, make up the cream. Though their success was nearly derailed by tragedy when drummer Robbie McIntosh died of an accidental overdose at a Hollywood party. The Scottish band faced skepticism about their ability to play funk music, with some critics suggesting their race made them inauthentic performers of Black American music styles. These days, the band's influence on hip-hop through extensively sampled breaks has earned them renewed respect. However, they've been outspoken about sampling rights and fair compensation for artists whose work is used in modern productions. Their journey from Scotland to the top of the American R&B charts remains one of music's most unique success stories. The band actually recorded Cut the Cake as a tribute to their fallen drummer, completing it just weeks after his death. The distinctive guitar riff came from a warm-up exercise that guitarist Hamish Stewart used to play before shows. If you're enjoying this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends who remember these amazing times. We love hearing your stories. Gloria Gaynor's Never Can't Say Goodbye marked her rise from nightclub singer to disco queen. I never can say goodbye. Though many don't realize, she nearly abandoned her music career after a devastating fall at the Manhattan Center in 1972 that left her temporarily paralyzed. She fought her way back to performing while wearing a back brace, refusing to let the injury define her career. The song actually came to her during this recovery period, though record executives initially wanted to give it to a different artist. Today, Gaynor continues to perform and advocate for artist rights, particularly focusing on fair treatment of legacy artists by streaming platforms. She's been candid about the challenges of maintaining artistic integrity in an industry that often prioritizes youth over experience. In 2023, she won a Grammy for her gospel album, proving her versatility beyond disco. The producers originally wanted to speed up Never Can't Say Goodbye to make it more disco-friendly, but Gaynor insisted on keeping it at its original tempo. She believed the slightly slower pace gave the song more emotional impact, and history has proved her right. Paul Anka returns to our list with I Don't Like to Sleep Alone. I don't like to sleep alone. Another collaboration with Adiah Coates. The song emerged during a particularly tumultuous time in Anka's personal life as he was dealing with the pressures of reinventing himself for a new generation. The partnership with Coates was seen as risky by his management, who worried how his traditional audience would react to the duets. While this song may not be as well remembered as some of his other hits, it represents an important transition in Anka's career. He's since acknowledged that these duets with Coates helped him connect with a more diverse audience and kept him relevant in a rapidly changing musical landscape. The song's themes of loneliness and connection continue to resonate with audiences today. Few people know that the song was actually inspired by a late-night conversation Anka had with Frank Sinatra about the downsides of fame. The original lyrics were much darker, but were lightened up for commercial release. Morning Side of the Mountain by Donnie and Marie Osmond came at the height of their popularity, though it also marked a period of intense pressure for the siblings. Behind their squeaky clean image, they were dealing with exhausting performance schedules and the strain of maintaining their public persona. The song's success coincided with growing tensions between the siblings and their management over creative control. In recent years, both Donnie and Marie have been more open about the challenges they faced as child stars, including the psychological impact of growing up in the spotlight. While they both continued successful solo careers, their honest discussions about the price of early fame have helped change how the industry treats young performers. They become advocates for protecting child performers' financial interest and mental health. The harmonies in Morning Side of the Mountain were actually recorded separately because the siblings were arguing so much during this period that they couldn't perform it together. The final version seamlessly blends recordings from different sessions. The 3 Degrees brought us When Will I See You Again?
See you again.
Though their path to success was anything but smooth. The group faced significant discrimination in the early days, often being relegated to performing in segregated venues. Their persistence paid off, and they eventually became the first African-American female group to perform for British royalty, though this achievement often overshadowed their musical innovations. Today, the group continues with different members, but their influence on modern R&B and pop music is undeniable. They've been vocal about the importance of preserving music history, particularly the contributions of African-American female artists who often went unrecognized. Their story has become an important part of discussions about representation in the music industry. As we wrap up this journey through these incredible songs from 1975, it's amazing to think about how they've stood the test of time. If these songs spark memories for you, share them in the comments below. Tell us what they meant to you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more musical memories. And hit that like button if you enjoyed this trip back to 1975. Remember, great music never gets old. It just gets better with time.